Ed Emerton, he did quite a bit of fishing gear. Did braid, he did hooks, he did all that sort of stuff. And I got introduced to the hooks that he uses, a 20-0 reel bend fishing hook.
Yeah.
And just one of the best hooks I've ever used.
So, all right, Justice. So we're finally live broadcasting, man. I'm going to get the questions started now. I appreciate your time, man. We're going to cover one of the most iconic photos in land-based shark fishing across the world. And I have some iconic photos that I was a part of. This one takes the cake. So Justin, tell us, one of the first things I want to ask you is how long have you been in land-based shark fishing?
Okay, since I was about 18 or so. So what's that, about 22 plus years, 23 years, yeah.
Okay, very nice. And then, a lot of people, again, remember a lot of the people that are going to be listening to were in the States, Texas, Florida, basically in those main states. Where did all this take place? Where did you catch this fish?
All right, so in South Africa, just off Durban, a place called Ilovo Beach, which is literally down the road from where I stayed when I was staying in South Africa. So on the east coast of South Africa.
Okay, so first of all, I also want you guys to know, and for Justin in South Africa, it's morning time. For me, it's in the evening time. We're both drinking coffee.
Oh, sorry, I'm actually in Australia now. I live in Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Justin lives in all of the best places to shark fish. So you're in Australia now, then?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Just because the shark fishing is better, or was it for work?
I actually moved over here for work, and obviously to get into somewhere where it's a bit more safer for my family and that as well. So
yeah, man. And so tell us when, essentially, why did you even get into land-based shark fishing?
Well, basically, when I was a bit younger, I used to go and pretty much only fish for edible fish, and I saw a couple of guys on the sardine run catching some big ass sharks, and they would fight them for a couple of hours and that, and I thought, well, it looks like a lot of hard work, but I wouldn't mind giving it a try. So yeah, slowly started off trying to catch. It always starts off with you getting smaller sharks, and that you don't always just get the big ones, and then it slowly worked up to me getting a couple of the big ones before I really got into it seriously.
Okay, that's fair, man. I mean, I got into it because it's super exciting and it's a huge, predator. I just love
That's right, yeah. Yeah, it's good fun. I love it as well. You can't beat it.
You can't, man. So let me bring up the picture. Okay, so here we go. Here we got the picture. Can you see that okay on your screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is, you've seen the engagement we've had on Facebook and social media. This is one of the most iconic photos around. Almost everyone knows about this picture. Tell us a little bit about this picture and how it came to even be.
So basically, when I was, there's a lady that, let me just pull up her name again. Yeah. She actually took this photo from probably her porch or something like that, and from her house. So her house overlooks the sea here where I was fishing. The lady's name is Mirinda Ellen Grecki Mario. Okay. So basically, someone had made up a video of the 2018 sardine run, and it was about 30 minutes long that they posted on YouTube. And I ended up watching it, and this picture actually flicked by, and it sort of grabbed my attention, and I went back to it and I had a look and I zoomed in and I was like, hey, that's me. And basically from there, I tracked the lady down and I got the original photo, and yeah, look, she took a great photo there.
So you're saying that you didn't even take this picture. Your friends didn't even take this picture. You found this picture later on in your timeline of life.
That's right. Yeah. Just basically stumbled upon it. Yeah.
This whole time I thought someone was in those bushes. It was your buddy that took this picture. So this was a random picture you found of yourself.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular. So tell us a little bit about what year was this caught in what type of season? Was it winter, summer?
So the 2018 sardine run basically is in winter. And it was literally at the end of, because the sharks will come through for about 2 or 3 weeks. So it was literally on the end of the 3-week run when they were coming around. And I think this day that I caught that shark was the last time that we saw sharks like that on the shore break. So it was pretty lucky that I got that on that day.
That's pretty unbelievable. So how did you even find that spot? How did you find the spot exactly?
Well, it's I kind of fish in that area already because it's down the road from where I stay.
Oh my.
So yeah, so my mate sent me the video, which you'll see just now of that.
Okay. Okay. Let's
Of
pull.
that
Okay.
action. Yeah,
So
let's pull the video.
essentially, all right, we'll pull up the video right now. So essentially, what Justin has said, just so you guys understand this fully, Justin lives right down the street from where this took place. His buddy sent him this video we're about to watch now. Let's check this video out. Walk us through this.
So obviously the guys will net the sardines and they'll pull them in, and you can see just beyond the net there in the shore break, there are, I don't know how many Duskies. There were hundreds of, well, not hundreds, but there were at least 30 or 40 of them all in the water at the background. And those are like 12, between 10 and 12 foot Duskies all swimming in like knee deep water there. So basically my friend sent me this video, and I was still at work. Went to my boss and I said, have a look at this. I need to get down there. And he was like, yeah, okay, go for it. I know how you are with your fishing, you know. So yeah, grabbed my stuff, or raced home, grabbed my stuff, shot down there. And when I went down there, that's exactly what I saw, is these Duskies.
Okay, so just to clarify what you said, so your buddy took that last video while you were at work.
He actually got sent that video.
Oh, he got sent it, and then
he got sent it. He sent it to me, yeah.
And you asked, and you showed it to your boss, who then gave you the day off
permission. Well, not. It was about 2:00 in the afternoon, so it was getting to the end of the day, you know. And yeah, he was like, yeah, you can go for it, you know. I know how you are with your shark fishing and that.
So what goes into your mind, man? When that video hit your cell phone? Well, first of all, how long did it take you to get on the beach from the moment it hit your cell phone, and what went in your mind knowing that was walking distance from where you live?
Well, basically, when I got that video, I kind of lost my mind a bit. I was like, I have to get down there immediately. So, like I said, spoke to my boss. He said, gave me the go ahead, jumped in my vehicle, raced home, packed my stuff within about 5 minutes, shot down to the beach. And when I got down there, that's exactly what I saw. Dusky whalers all in the shore break like that, still feeding on sardines. So ran down there and pretty much set up and try to get into it.
That's complete. So okay, I mean, this is shocking to me. So as soon as you hit the beach, the fish were still there.
I was still there, yeah. So they'd been doing that for about probably close to an hour then already, yeah.
So how long did it? So from when you hit the sand, how long did it actually take you to hook up?
So I got there, I grabbed a handful of sardines that were floating around in the water there, put 3 sardines next to each other, cottoned them up, hooked them up to my hook, cast out. Within 30 seconds of it landing in the water, I hooked up into that.
On your first cast?
My first cast, yeah. So there were other guys that hooked up as well. And because there were so many sharks in the water, they had swim throughs that burnt them off. And yeah, there were probably about 7 or 8 guys that lost sharks while I was standing there. And out of that day, only 2 of us actually landed sharks. There was another guy that landed at about 500 meters down the beach from me.
So that kind of brings me to my next question, man. So I'm sitting back, we're using different gear. You guys use spinners. You're sight casting on top of giant, massive dusky sharks, walking distance from your house. There's 12 foot dusky sharks or bronzies everywhere. You're sight casting. I was going to ask you, does everyone land these fish? Don't they get broken off? Don't you have swim throughs? Tell us about your gear and tell us how you're able to even land that fish.
So basically, using a Slammer 10-500, I had 100-pound whiplash on there. It's about 600 meters, which is about 600 yards. And as the Aussies call it, yeah, my mates in Australia call it our flagpole fishing rods, which is 13.8 Assassin Beachmaster Heavy. Ooh. So a lot of the guys, they do have swim throughs during the sardine run because there are so many sharks in the water. It's absolute chaos. So when you do land a big shark like that on, whether it be spin gear or even on a normal overhand reel, you are pretty lucky to get it out because of the fact that there are so many sharks swimming around that even when it's past backline 300 meters out, a shark will swim through your line in backline and actually just chew you off.
So what type of what type of leaders were you using, and give us a little bit about the technique. You're saying, a bunch of people got broken off that day, only 2 people caught. You caught. I'm assuming there's a reason why you caught. I'm assuming it was your technique, possibly your leader. Give us a little bit of information on that.
Honestly, I think it's more luck than anything else. When it comes to that many sharks in the water, it's got a lot to do with luck that you don't get bitten off or anything. So, but basically with the 100-meter, the 100-pound whiplash, I just a normal FG knot onto about 20 meters or 15 meters of a 200-pound leader, and then tie that to the trace, and that was it. My trace was a probably 1.5 to 2 meter of a 250-pound nylon coated wire with just a standard, I think it was a 12-0 demon circle.
The demons are good. The demons are good.
They are good, yeah.
Special hook. That's a special
hook.
Yeah. Man, so how long did it take you to land this thing?
So from the time it picked me up, it ran out about between 400 and 500 meters. You can only gauge it around there before it stopped on its first run. And literally an hour and a half to hour and 20 minutes before I got it to the shore break, because it had a couple runs during that time as well. And then it was literally 40 minutes up and down the shore break before I actually could have landed it.
So a little less than 2 hours, roughly?
Pretty much about 2 hours, yeah, close to that.
So when we put this picture up, I saw a lot of comments like, did you land the fish? Did you land the fish?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at, okay, so first of all, spectacular fish, amazing fish. I'm not sure that if that's a bronzy, dusky.
That's a dusky. Yeah, the dusky, the bronzies don't get as big as the duskies, eh?
I mean, that thing is so the duskies get even. I'm sorry, that is a dusky, yeah. So give us a little bit more information on this animal. Tell us how big it is, and how you got it back in the water, how you were able to leader it up on the shore, all that.
Yeah, so basically when I was fighting in the shore break, there were a bunch of guys. It actually got to a point where it died off and all the sharks were gone, but there were still guys standing around with their lines in the water. So while the shark was swimming along the shore break, it actually swam into another fellow fisherman's line. And he kind of gave it, slack line, and he followed me along the beach. And eventually his line came off. And he said, well, let me hang around because there's nobody to help you land this fish, which was lucky enough on my side. Because if you can look in the far background there, you can actually see where everybody's sitting there. And I'm about 200 meters. Yeah, I'm about 200 meters down the beach. So he kind of hung around. His name's Bilal Asmal. So, big thank you to him. If it wasn't for him being around there, I probably would never have been able to land this fish.
So let me ask you, man, did you have the video had at least 4 huge sharks in it. Did you have the opportunity to land another fish after this? Or you're saying they were all?
Nah, they were gone. They had by the time I had landed my shark, everybody was pretty much packing up. You can see it's getting starting to get a bit dark in the afternoon there as well. And basically after I hooked into my fish, it was probably another 20 minutes and it kind of just died off. The sharks had they moved off,
So it sounds like you just hit that perfect window, which a lot of these new anglers don't realize how much luck goes into this. It's just, if there's certain things we could do, we could time things right, we can hit the weather, but at the end of the day, this stuff is fishing. The fish can go immediately. So that is amazing, man. So you didn't even take the original picture. You were working during the time. You got off of work. Most people can't land these types of fish. You landed it. That is unbelievable. So
I'm just going to say I had a lot of luck on my side.
Yeah,
with everything that went down,
it looks like it. That's a massive. I mean, look at this fish. That's a massive fish that Justin landed on a spinning setup. You can kind of see here in the background is set up. So let me ask you this. Now, this may be a little bit of a controversy, question now. And I know you're in Australia, but say here in America, say I want to go do this myself. Is it even safe? Can I safely go there? Can I confidently go to South Africa? Can I fish on the beach with gear like this? And
if you get in contact with the right people in South Africa, the right guys that do that sort of guide or whatever that can take you there. It can be safe because they will obviously pick you up from the airport or whatever the case, take you to where they need to. and make sure you'll be safe, because obviously they know what South Africa's about. But to go there by yourself and try it probably would be a little bit dangerous, because you don't really know how things are in South Africa. At least if you go with a proper guide, he could definitely put you on some good fish during the winter and the sardine runs.
So when we going then?
Well, when we can fly again, eh?
Oh
That's
my
it.
gosh. Can we, oh, you guys are in Australia. Can you guys even fly? What's going
They
on in
started,
Australia?
they started opening up the borders for people who are fully vaccinated and stuff like that. But yeah, it all depends on, I think, where you're going as well. So we'd probably have to wait a little bit longer before we could probably head out to that South Africa again.
Now, do you plan on going back?
Not really, but if I get if I get an opportunity to go get some more Duskies like that, I probably would have to say yes.
Awesome, man. So, we're about 15 minutes in the interview. We're going to do a live Q&A after this, you guys. So after this video, you guys, go to the Facebook group called Land-Based Shark Fishing. We're going to do a live Q&A after this. But Justin, before we end the broadcast, can you give us some advice, any advice you want to say to the new guys, the old guys in America, Australia? I mean, what advice can you give to some of the anglers?
Well, the only advice I could say is, like, with the new guys, just do a little bit of like research before you go and tackle some big sharks. They are a lot of work. If you can get as much information as you can from guys that have caught big sharks, because obviously if you get good information from these guys, it's better for you in the long run. You want to give the shark the best of the ability to be able to swim back in the ocean again, like after you've landed it. I know a lot of the older guys don't want to give out information to the new guys. It's a bit of a tough situation there, but I think at the end of the day, the new guys are going to go land-based shark fishing, especially when they see big sharks. So if you can, rather give them some sort of information to help them, rather do that, because they're going to go out there and they're going to try, and they're going to probably end up killing a shark if they don't do it the right way,
Yeah, and that's it's really a balancing act, man.
It's a catch-22, yeah.
It is a catch-22 because a lot of the older guys, they have their own spots. They can catch a lot of fish. They can have the time of their lives, not be bothered, not have any risks. So when you take people in, especially if they're new, even if they don't mean to maybe burn a spot or to do damage, it takes only one person, and that's the hard thing. So what I'm trying to do is and I think you've seen it, I'm trying to give people at least enough information to where they could competently at least catch and release a shark. Stay away from tourists, things like that. But it is very hard, man. And especially being on video. I mean, the ridicule, if I sneeze and I don't turn my head, I mean, I'm gonna get complaints no matter what we do, and I think that. But nevertheless, here's the thing, man. Someone helped me when I was young as well, when I first started. So, I mean, what do you do, man? I mean, what do you do?
Look, you don't, I know, guys. I mean, I'm the same. I don't want to take anybody to my favorite spots as well. It's just how it is. If someone ever asks information on, like, what do they do, what do I use, what traces, all that sort of stuff, I'm quite happy to give them that sort of information.
Because I mean, that's gear. That's gear.
It's gear, yeah.
And it's to properly, as long as there's no spot burnings. And man, there are people that spot burn. I mean, there are people that advertise spot burning like crazy. It's clownish, man. I mean, it's clownish, but I mean, it is what it is. To each his own. We just try to do things a certain way. But
I'm pretty fortunate here. Yeah, in Australia, where I'm at the moment, I can fish a 5-kilometer beach and probably not see anybody for 4 or 5 hours, which is good.
So you're going to be throwing up some Australia fish here soon, or what?
I've already got a couple up already. I mean, I've got a 9'4" tiger on spin gear already on the beaches and that. Yeah, I've got a couple of. I mean, lemon sharks is enough of them and that as well. So yeah, they're definitely caught quite a few since I've been here.
That's awesome, brother. So what I'm going to do, man, is we'll go ahead and end the broadcast now and prepare for the live Q&A. Justin, from the bottom of my heart, man, I definitely appreciate you. Anything else you want to say before we go?
I think I've pretty much covered it. Yeah, cool.
Awesome, man. Well, keep fishing strong, brother, and we'll see you next time.